to the Coach's Conversation here on this 14th day of December. Very excited that you're along with us here this morning. This will be our last girls show before winter break. We will have a boys week next week and then 2 weeks of winter break. The Saturday after Christmas and the Saturday after the New Year, we will take our traditional 2-week break before we jump back into basketball talk on Saturday mornings. So got a lot to talk about today, how the first part of the season has gone, looking at the Christmas tournaments and holiday schedule for teams, and maybe just a little bit of a preview into district play. That will come around really sometime first couple of weeks or so of January. So, like I said, a lot to get to. We had a few teams that played last night. There were some Thursday scores as well. Eagleville girls and boys played on Thursday. Eagleville girls lost 58-51 on Thursday, but the boys beat Pickett County, which was a huge win for them there. And then a few scores that we were able to parse out from last night. It was Cookeville defeating Oakland 71-35. The Lady Cavaliers, pretty good once again in that league with Stewart's Creek and Lebanon and all of those teams, Smyrna, Laverne. So Cookeville a winner last night in girls. Valor Collegiate edged Smyrna 47-43. These are all girls scores now. It was Station Camp 54, Riverdale 40. Providence Christian 49, Franklin Road Academy 37, and MTCS down to USN 68-25. In our broadcast game, one of the two, in girls last night, Stewart's Creek 75, Gallatin 23. That was a very close game. At the end of the first quarter, Stewart's Creek really had to battle back and take a 1-point advantage after the quarter break. But I think this is right. Outscored them 48-4 in the second and third quarters. Just a tremendous second and third quarter for Stewart's Creek as they pound Gallatin 75-23. So those are girls' scores. On the boys' side of things, Cookeville a winner over Oakland 72-61. It was Smyrna 72, Valor Collegiate 47. Smyrna, nice win there over Valor, and it was Stewart's Creek defeating Gallatin 61-46. It was about a 10-point game, and then Gallatin would make a run, and then Stewart's Creek would make another run, and they finally push it on out for a 61-46 win. Those two games, you can check the podcast up on our website. Lipscomb Academy 62, Rockville 45, and Station Camp a winner 73-62 over Riverdale. Providence Christian Academy 64, Franklin Road Academy 49, 64-49 PCA the victor. They're still undefeated, by the way. And University School of Nashville defeats MTCS 75-63. So those were the scores from last night. We do, since this is the first coaches show since Kevin Creasy and the Oakland Patriots claim the school's 8th state title. Last Saturday night, that was a fun night for Oakland and for Rutherford County. That's now 14 state titles for Rutherford County since around 1970. That's when Central won. They finished in 69, runner-up, but 1970 was the first one for the Rutherford County area. And, of course, you've had Oakland and Riverdale and Smyrna and MTCS all win state titles over the years. So it was Oakland's 8th and 5 years 5th in the last 6 years or so. So there you go. We will have an extended interview. Truman Jones did an interview with Coach Creasy. I'm not 100% sure when that is going to air, but we'll have it publicized on our website, kind of a year in review type of thing. Not necessarily as much as sports related as, I mean, it's obviously sports related, but it's going to be in a weekday, one of our weekday shows. So there you go. All right, that is a look at the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard for the morning, and we've got all girls coaches here. I'm going to take you through the first three coaches this morning, then John Dinkins will be in for the middle leg, and Danny Brewer will wrap us up this morning, including MTCS Cougar Corner that hits the air at 11:15. Stay with us here on WGNS. Murfreesboro, Smyrna, the Coaches Conversation kicks off next, right here.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, from oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Let's hear from customers of Dr. Automotive.
He does a good job. He'll let you know what's going on and do it at a good price.
Danny does a lot in our community, so he's very involved and invested.
I recommend family, friends. Danny is spot on because he'll suggest what I need to do, and of course, I've never had an issue.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com. Time to talk some Riverdale girls hoops this morning. Josh Bugg joins us, the head coach. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good. Good to have you here. And have you done any Christmas shopping at all yet?
It's all online. It's easy.
Oh, okay.
Just pull it up on your phone, plug that card information in, and you hit order, and it'll be at your door. Amazon is a powerful tool.
It'll get it there quick, and you don't have to go shop. You don't have time to shop anyway, do you?
No, I just ain't gonna wrap them. I'm not a big present wrapper. I get those boxes that already got like the pretend like wrapping on the outside of it. You just tape it. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay,
it's my style.
You'll have to tell me about where to find those because I've got a few to wrap and I don't like to wrap either. So it takes too much time. You brought a friend with you this morning, a coaching compadre.
Yeah, this is Coach David Gardner. He's been with us since I got here. And he's also my uncle. He's my mom's youngest brother, and he is the literal reason why I'm in education. And he was in Antioch and Cane Ridge at Thurgood Marshall Middle School for, 16, 17 years?
Yeah, 16, 17 years, somewhere in there. Lose count after a while.
Yeah, and he traded all that in and come and help me turn this program around. And he's also got a daughter that's a freshman at our school, and she's one of our managers. And kind of brought him here this morning so he could give you his insight, but also he's going to be coaching our flag football team in Riverdale. But he's a great mentor to me and a great person.
Uncle, huh? Do you have stories? I'm sure.
I got a lot of stories, but I got to keep them because he's got a few stories on me too.
Okay.
So we'll just keep all that in the vault. But no, yeah, we've been around each other our whole life and grown together, and trying to both just level up each day and be a little bit better and take whatever students and athletes along with us on the ride.
Yeah. It's pretty unique, I guess. You have the ability when you have your coaching family, Josh, and then you have your family, but to have your family and your coaching family, that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's a big blessing, and honestly, especially for him, it was really cool to finally get on the same exact calendar as his daughter. And they moved from Smyrna to Murfreesboro and actually live in our neighborhood as well. And just we've got a small family, so to be able to have that time together, because when I took that Columbia job, I had created a lot of distance in between myself and my small family. And on my dad's side of the family, I don't have a lot of connections there, and so it's a big blessing to have him around, and especially for him to be on the same calendar as his daughter.
Well, let's jump into a little bit of what's happened over the last couple of weeks. You've battled Smyrna, you've battled Eagleville. Just a few of the games that we've had the pleasure to actually do on the air. It's kind of cool to be able to play some of these Rutherford County teams that are not district opponents.
Yeah, we're proud of the girls. The reason why they're showing a lot of progress is because they've been working extremely hard since the summer. I think during the summer we played a lot of really tough teams, the Lipscomb Academies, the Lebanons, the White Counties of the world, and we got pushed around a little bit, and our kids responded by going to work in the off-season and lifting weights and conditioning. Coach Gardner leads that up for us. We continue to do that year-round. But their commitment to get better and to be able to respond to adversity has kind of led to the growth that they're showing. And we've still got a lot of growth to show, but we love the direction that we're in. We love the amount of young kids that are playing in our program, and we're proud of them, and we're not satisfied, but we're happy with where we're at right now. And we're still focused on our team vision, and we're going to just keep grinding it out.
David, the vision of all of this, I mean, you understand it. It's hard to maybe sometimes have, 14, 15, 16-year-old girl understand it. So
yeah.
Maybe talk to a bit about the challenges that does bring as a coach.
Just a lot. It's a long season. We do a lot of lifting. We do a lot of summer stuff. I mean, we run an intense schedule. We try to practice hard to be able to prepare so that the games are easy. So you want the practice to be a little bit harder. And when you're dealing with 14, 15, 16-year-old girls, sometimes regulating emotions, not letting them get too high, not letting them get too low, and different things like that, and just the constant motivation. And we're getting a lot better. And we're at a point where last year, we were kind of figuring it all out, figuring out who's who, just learning the kids. And this year we've taken leaps and bounds, and we've pulled a few games out. And we've only had a couple bad games. I mean, realistically, we should probably be about 7-2 right now. Just a few more things go our way, a few more shots drop, and maybe a little luck goes our way. So we got a really good ball team that's just ready to break through that next level. So I think we just need a good staple win under our belt. And, it's just all about just keeping them motivated and balancing, pushing them and getting that extra little bit out of them, but also being able to recover and being able to rest and not push them too hard to where they're shutting down either. So, just always trying to balance that, being able to push them and get the most out of them and keep them locked in at the same time.
Yeah, that's a fine line. I mean, you've got kids.
Yes, sir. I got a 20-year-old, and he played baseball at Smyrna. And
yeah, so you know all about that.
Yeah, he's a little man now and not playing. And then my daughter, she's a freshman that we're talking about. She plays volleyball, so I'm trying to be half dad and just support her when she's doing that. So.
Yeah, well, if you have kids, you kind of know what that you have to learn what the limits are. And Josh, that's kind of hard when, I mean, it is your basketball family, but also just to kind of know how far you can go, but you can do this with girl A but not girl B, and it's different, isn't it?
They're all different, and you have to learn, like, you've got to build a relationship with them, and not just myself but all coaches, like, we spend a lot of time with kids, much more than some of their parents, just because they may be working, but we've got an opportunity to impact their lives, and I think it starts there. And once you build that relationship, you can get them to essentially want to run through a wall for you.
Yeah.
And I think that, because like relationships is one of our like pillars of our program. We talk about our concept of roots. And so I think that we're doing well there. I know there's some room for improvement, and that's just part of working with people because we're all like imperfect humans, and I fall short as a leader, and they're going to fall short out there on the court. And when you have compassion as a leader and you care about them and you pour into them, eventually, if you're headed in the same direction, you're going to have success. And so, I look at our program like a tree. In order for it to have the fruit that we want it to have, we've got to invest in the roots of it. And so we've done a lot in our community with our feeder schools, which is something that's a high priority for me, and building relationships with those kids and so that they see us at their games, watching them play. And then just like making the most out of the kids that were already in the program and the kids that are like freshmen in the program.
Yeah.
And we've started anywhere between 2 and 3 freshmen most of our games this year. And that's a good and a bad thing, but it's a good thing for the future. And, the best way for these kids to learn is to get that experience, and that's what we're doing right now in JV and varsity.
I saw Corey Bransford at the game just the other night, had the Christiana team there. Thankfully, he wasn't wearing those god-awful pants that he wears sometimes, but, that's where it starts. And, some other schools, take Oakland, for instance, they've got Oakland Middle and then Oakland High, and that's different. And you kind of instill that school pride throughout, middle school, high school. So you're trying to do the same, and you've got a lot. It's not just Christiana. There are other feeder schools. So, that's important.
Yeah. I know Claire Maxwell. You're probably familiar with the name.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of talks about, hopefully somewhere in the near future that Rutherford County schools would try to make an investment in getting the Riverdale Middle School. But right now our current situation is both of the feeder schools are anywhere from 7 to 10 miles away. And so it's not an ideal situation, but it is the reality of where our kids come from. And so all we do is just drive on over and, watch practice and watch games and just be there to support. And I think it means a big difference for those kids because I see those kids in turn come and watch us when we're playing on their off days.
Well, David, before our time gets away, maybe talk a little bit about flag football and what that's going to look like, and how did you decide that that's something that maybe you wanted to do?
Well, in Antioch, that's what I did. I was the head football coach at Thurgood for a long time, so I have a football background, and I've done track, and I've done basketball as well. So kind of came out here to help him and fell into the basketball world, but I have a stronger background in football. So it kind of just seemed natural, and the thing is I'm already working with a lot of the girls, and so it just kind of was a natural fit. So talking with Coach Kreisky, we got together and decided that was a good fit. So we're excited. We're about to start conditioning and have tryouts in January and get going. It's been real tough to kind of balance basketball and kind of get that going, so we're going to fire that up at the start of the new year when we get back. And
that's going to be a spring sport, right?
Yes, sir. It's going to be a spring sport, so it'll kind of go concurrent with softball and track. So, a lot of that speed goes to the track because, the legend Ricky Field over there, he's got a big group. But so far we've got like 70 kids that are signed up, so we'll see how many actually come out in January. So I'm super excited about it. So, I'm kind of known for having a high-powered offense and being able to throw the rock around a little bit, and so I just can't wait to get in there and get my hands dirty and, see what these girls can do because we got a lot of athletes, we got a lot of speed, and I got a pretty good idea that we're gonna be fighting hard, and I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a big deal. I know Blackman had like 135 girls signed up, and I think Siegel's had a bunch of kids too. So I think it's gonna be a big deal in Rutherford County coming forward. So. Only time will tell, but I'm chomping at the bit. But we got to get through this basketball part first because that's kind of on the mind right now.
Josh, you guys are in this to, coach basketball and win games, but you're also there to, if there's one kid that could really excel in a certain area, or just to have those opportunities and more opportunities for girls in sports, it can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, we're using this platform of high school sports to impact lives because eventually they're going to be someone's boss or someone's mother or someone's coworker, and we want them to be just great humans is what we preach all the time.
Briefly, just kind of tell me about Christmas, the holiday schedule, what the plans are.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've got a very winnable game at home on Tuesday, and then we're actually going to be going out of town, which is going to be a good opportunity for our young program headed into the district. We'll be traveling down to Maryville and playing in a Christmas tournament and staying 2 nights and coming back on that college football Saturday. So when we come back from Christmas, we'll have 1 day at the Page Hoop Fest as well. So we've got 5 more games to round out the 2024 year. But I'm really looking forward to that time together away because they'll be out of school and they'll be able to focus on their team and they'll be able to focus on basketball.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a good Christmas experience for us.
Sounds good. Good luck and all that. Enjoy the mountains. There's a lot to do up in that neck of the woods. And we'll see you back here after the first of the year, and it'll be district time before we know it.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right, Josh. Appreciate you coming in. David, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Joining us today talking Riverdale Girls Hoops, Josh Bugg, the head coach, and assistant David Gardner. Joining us here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, a family-owned and operated business treating clients like family since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, and a wide selection of great jewelry pieces online at mullinsjewelry.com.
At Little Caesars, get a large custom 2-topping pizza for only $7.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $7.99? Get out of here! This pizza is only $7.99. No way! This is $7.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $7.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Listen, pirate, stop taking my $7.99 pizza. Choose a large custom 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $7.99 when you order online. Only $7.99. What?
Pizza.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
The auction is a means of drawing people together for a quick, easy sale.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. You know, you get instant sale, no contingencies and everything. I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Visit our website at parksauction.com to learn more.
Hi there, 12 and home now.
Call Parks Auction at 896-4600. Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan Franz Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan Franz Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan Franz Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranzconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
I know it's a busy time, but this is also a time of giving. And I need you to give a moment of your time to fill out the special census for Murfreesboro. Go to murfreesborocensus.com. It only takes a couple of minutes, and you'll do a lot for our community. Go to murfreesborocensus.com. Fill out the special census today. Can Santa count you in?
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
And the Blue Raiders win again.
Man, I really need to get some new MT gear.
Where are you going?
I thought I'd go to the bookstore.
Bookstore? I thought you wanted gear. Businesses always put what they're most proud of in their name.
So where do you go?
Raider Tees. They have tees, polos, hats, chairs, tents, artwork, everything blue for the true Blue Raider fan. They're just off Broad Street behind Chewy's Restaurant on Ridgely Road.
Raider Tees.
Like us on Facebook for early notice of specials and sales.
Raider Tees. Bigger, better, and go blue.
Pizza. Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com. Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We welcome you back to the Coaches Show that is brought to you by here on News Radio WGNS Sir Pizza. They've got 3 Murfreesboro locations offering a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, wings, and more. Order your favorites online at sirpizzatn.com. The head coach of the Smyrna Lady Bulldogs, Lonnie Drayton, joins us here this morning. And, Lonnie, you had a nail-biter last night.
Well, that's every night right now. I mean, which is a good thing, but at 47, I'm struggling. So the blood pressure medicine is on tap right now. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good.
Well, I know a little bit about those 40s, but I'm soon to see the next number.
Oh, hey, I know it's coming.
Yeah, it's like a freight train too, isn't it?
That's right.
And here you are trying to balance 2 sports, a winter and a spring sport and all of that comes with it. And the first of the year really makes that one difficult, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It makes it tough at times, but, it's adapting. And then today here's the screaming that you probably hear in the background is I've been talked into doing the scorebook with my son on Saturday mornings at the rec league. So I am out here doing 7 and 8-year-old girls basketball, which is, let me tell you, it's pure comedy. So, I mean, Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart movie couldn't give you what this is going to give me. Right?
Oh goodness, that's pretty wild. So you're seeing all its extremes, but I'm sure some of those that's where the passion for playing sports comes from is when you're a kid, and by the time you get to high school, it's obviously a lot more competitive and things like that. But these are the kids that the community pours into to get them ready to play on the next level if they want.
Exactly, that is. And the funny thing is one of the main reasons that I accepted was just to keep that connection, because my son's a freshman in high school and he's not playing rec ball anymore. He's playing high school ball, so I wanted I want to be here early on Saturday mornings just to keep that, face of the program type connection with our community right there. Because, I know all the older kids, I know all the older girls, and now, I'm back in the eyes of the young kids and supporting them and, clapping for them. And when they do something good, I want them to associate Coach Drayton's face with the good stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And, so it's always something to try to keep the program running. So that's one of the sacrifices, one of the things I love about it. So,
well, kind of give us, I guess, a little bit of info here about how I guess we could call it the pre-Christmas schedule has gone. I know we got to see you guys last week when you took on Riverdale, and that was quite a close game too. And then last night, a close one against Valor Collegiate. So kind of tell us how the first part of the season's gone for you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's been rough. We're in a situation where we're in a sort of a rut as far as us shooting and us finding ways to put the ball in the hole right now. But I thought I'd never say this, but we've lost. We actually lost 4 games in a row last night, and we have missed in those 4 games. We've missed 70 free throws.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've never heard anything like that. And as a coach, I told the girls yesterday, it's sort of hard to continue harping on it, but when you're missing that many free throws, and it starts to get in your head. I mean, as a coach, as a player, and I hear people all the time, they're trying to give like the thing I hate. It's so funny because the thing I hate after Riverdale, you remember, we missed 17 free throws in that game, 17 or 18 free throws in that game. And I had one of my players' moms, and our players, we talk about it all the time, and I tell them one thing that I hate is when is when a player or a parent comes up or somebody comes up to us and they say, why don't y'all practice free throws? Why don't y'all practice free throws at practice? Because we do every situation that you could possibly think of in for practice. And so the kid, I'm sitting there talking to the mom, and the kid comes up, and the mom says, hey, it's getting a little better at Riverdale. She says, but maybe y'all need to practice free throws. And the kid says, Mom, stop. All right, please don't say that. He hates that. So it was just funny to hear how our girls are understanding it and how we get to see. But it starts to resonate. It starts to get in your head. It starts to, I don't know if it's a mental block or whatever we have right now, but there's a lot of games that, we should be in and we should be competing and winning at the end if we're just taking care of the ball and, doing simple things like hitting free throws to win a game. So.
Well, you just look at some of the scores in those 4 losses. I mean, you had a close one last night, almost the same identical score against McGavick, and 10-point losses with Riverdale and Overton. But we were there at the Riverdale game. I mean, there were chances there. So, I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, and it's not a 10-point game. If you think about it, if you think about how every situation is, I mean, gosh, we were, I don't know, against Riverdale, were we up at halftime or, something.
I think that's right.
Yeah, and, and just execution in the middle of the game, different things like that finds us, where we are clawing back in and turn the ball over. They hit a big shot, and, that's what happens. I think at the Riverdale game, I really feel like, when 24 went out of the game and we started the pressure, we've got to understand that when if somebody at that magnitude, that caliber, ball handler, gets taken out of the game, we have to swarm to the point where everybody else is smothered. There's nobody that's going to beat us after that, and we did not adapt to it. We didn't make that happen before. So it's rough just seeing, because I think, with our record right now, we could easily be undefeated. And we're playing so many young guys right now, freshmen, and, we started 2 freshmen in that game and 2 sophomores and 1 senior. So it's learning pains, and, hopefully real quick we'll figure it out, because I don't know if they understand that I'm the most competitive coach around, and I love to win, and it's hard to lose in that fashion. I'd almost rather lose by 50 than lose games at the end when we could have won,
Well, the competitive nature within you is going to say, well, if we had done this or that, or if I had called this play or that play, and, and you just can't help but to do that.
Exactly. That makes it rough. But at the same time, it makes it fun. We go back, watch game tape, and we try to figure it out. And, it's about being, I know it's cliche, but being 1% better every day, that's the aim, especially when you have young guys, and just not losing confidence in those guys. And they know I don't. So that's the biggest thing.
Well, Lonnie, talk to me a little bit about what's coming up, how you're going to handle the holiday break here after this next week of school. And I guess maybe you've got exams and all that kind of thing going on, so it's always a weird week right before Christmas.
Oh, yeah. We play tomorrow, Tuesday night. I think we play lead on Tuesday night, and then we don't play again until Friday night, where we'll be in Clinton, Kentucky. All right. I think Clinton, Kentucky. We'll play 3 games in Kentucky, and then we'll get a break. So I don't even know how to spell break until that right there. So we'll get a small break, and we'll practice a couple times, and then we'll come back and play. I think we'll play Rutherford County when we come back from the break right there. So,
if you coach winter sports, you don't get a winter break. If you coach spring sports, you don't get a spring break. If you coach fall sports, you don't get a fall break, really.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what I told somebody the other day. When basketball season starts, I'm not going to be off until, really won't get a day off until June. Because I'm blessed to coach a softball team that usually goes pretty deep every year. And, So June, I'm not, it's fun, but June is the next time because, spring break, like you said, we're in Bob Jones in Alabama, and we're always somewhere. So it's awesome. It's exciting.
Well, here you are. You're at a 7 and 8 year old basketball game on a Saturday morning, so you're going to be busy regardless. So
there you go. And I just want the parents to know, all the parents that anybody that's listening, that I was one of those parents that was in the crowd going crazy at these 7 and 8 year old games, and I just want them to know that it's just as funny watching the parents as watching these kids. So you're pure comedy too, people.
There you go. Well said. Lonnie, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas to you and the family, and we will catch back up with you right before we get into district play.
Hey, sounds like a plan, Brian. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Lonnie. Lonnie Drayton joining us this morning on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more online at TOA.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
We fulfill all your tax preparation needs from individual returns to corporations and handle any of those scary letters you may get from the IRS.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to banners. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks. We hear a lot people who have been working with printers on the internet, had issues, and they know that if we're working with someone local, that A, they know where to find us, and B, they know that we'll take care of it because we have to take care of our neighbors. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're at Rick's Barbecue on Warrior Drive, talking with Anne Marie Brents.
When people walk in and they're like, tell me what's good, I usually tell them the loaded baked potato, which is a fully loaded potato with the butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon, and chives, and then we put meat on top of it.
At Rick's, they use the largest potatoes you can find.
Every Tuesday, we run a special on the loaded potatoes. We call it Tater Tuesday, and we sell a lot of potatoes.
Barbecue, smoked chicken, ribs, they've got it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive, and online at ricksbbq.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Welcome back into the Coaches Show, brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, I have the honor of talking with Blackman girls assistant basketball coach Shelby Gibson this morning. Coach Grandstaff, what do we say in the business? On assignment.
Yeah, she sent me.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
Little replacement.
Well, you know, those are some of the jobs that assistants get, right?
Yeah. True. Very true.
How many years is this for you at Blackman?
Well, 3 technically.
Okay.
I took 1 year away. I was MIA for a year. I went to University of Memphis to help with their women's basketball program, and then I came back. So this is my first year back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you were there and then not, and then now back and also, what makes you want to do this every day, Coach?
I mean, I gotta be honest, I have the best kids in the world. I mean, just the sweetest, the best students, the hardest workers. I love being around my kids, and that's what motivated me to come back. I really miss my kids and I love being around them every day. Sometimes they make you want to rip your hair out, don't get me wrong, but I love being around them every day. They're just the best.
You were one of those too,
yeah. And I don't know if my coaches loved being around me that much, but hopefully they did.
I've been doing this a long time. You were talking to John out in the lobby, so we did a lot of your basketball games as a player at Oakland, and Coach Grandstaff was your coach, and I could see the look she gave you sometimes.
Oh man, she probably still gives it to me. She probably does. But yeah, no, I can see it too.
But how cool is it to have the opportunity to coach with someone who's been so influential in not only your high school career, but wants you to succeed, and now here you are helping and coaching. I mean, that's got to be probably just the coolest thing ever.
I mean, it's a complete honor. When I was a player, you don't realize how good your coach is because she's your coach.
Yeah.
She gets on your nerves, right? And now I'm at a place where I love getting to watch her every day. I learn from her. She's just awesome. She's always been in my corner. Even back in the day when I didn't know it, she was in my corner. So I just love working for her, working with her. She's just awesome.
To think about it from that perspective, I think it also allows you to go back and think, this person taught me so much, and I didn't even know it in the moment.
Yeah. No, 100%. I was telling someone the other day that, when you're a player, you just get mad at what they say, and you're just mad all the time. And I used to just be so mad at her, but now looking back, she made me better. And you don't realize it in the moment. But now I just realize how good and how precise and how much better she grew my game, and how much better she made me a person, because she held me accountable. She made sure I was doing the right thing, so just those things I'm just so incredibly grateful to her for.
You want to be a head coach one day?
I do. Yeah.
It's pretty cool to be able to, like you said, learn from one of the best. I mean, she's the dean of Rutherford County coaches.
No, I agree. I mean, every day I think I learned something new.
Yeah.
5 things.
Yeah.
New.
Well, and then if Coach Wortman comes around, you can really learn a
10
lot.
things new. Yeah.
That is a pretty interesting tandem right there. With those two, and they've seen a lot. The this year's Blackman Lady Blaze team is, and this is just from my perspective and seeing you guys play against Brentwood the other night, super, super talented, very, very young.
Yes.
And sometimes that can be like a powder keg, one game to the next. That offers a different challenge than maybe Blackman girls basketball has had the last few years.
Yes, and I think so. We've had 2 losses, right? And I think this attests to our young and our old kids that they have learned and grown from both of those losses. They have taken the lessons from both of those losses and have gotten better. I mean, you saw it, Tuesday night we beat Lebanon, a very good, very well coached team. So I think that kind of attests to them that they're maturing and growing up very fast, and just love their work ethic every day. Just getting down to it. But yeah, we're young. We make mistakes, but we've learned and grown from those.
Your leading scorer in that Blackman game was a freshman. I mean, that says a lot about where you are.
Yeah.
You do have experience, and the tip of that spear is Lyric Maston.
Yes.
And you were a post player, but knowing the quarterback of the team is really the point guard, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's not enough I could say about Larry Baston. I mean, she's a dog every day. I mean, she's so good in the game. No, you think she's so good in the game? No, she's good in practice too. She is leading that practice. She is working her tail off every day. I mean, there's not enough good things I can say about that kid. I mean, she's so good.
And a lot on her shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's, I mean, she had 32 the other night. She's rolling with it, you know?
Yeah.
She's rolling with it. She's doing her thing. She's doing what she needs to do.
So she has 32 the other night, but in the game against Brentwood, she knew that she needed to distribute the ball a little bit more.
Yes.
And you know, and to know what is needed. I mean, you can tell she knows when, you know, we really need a basket, so I'm going to drive.
Yes.
Or, you know, we're going to set up in our offense, those types of things.
I mean, yes. She is really taking this role on her shoulders, and she's just so I don't have words sometimes. She's just so good. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody that can drive like Lyric Mastington can drive the ball down somebody's throat and get a and one basket. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
I thought you've played some teams that are at the caliber of they could be playing in the Murphy Center in March.
Yes.
Brentwood was one of those. In that game the whole time, just couldn't quite get over the hump there. But then to beat a Lebanon team that many thought is a favorite maybe to get there as well, and that was a quality win.
Yeah, and I think it's all about our preparation. You know, I think it starts in shoot around that day. You know, the game starts in shoot around, and I think we had to grow up and learn that, and we did. And we came in, we had a great practice the day before, we had a great shoot around, and then we came in and we punched first. And I think, you know, that's what you got to do. So when we have such a tough schedule, and it only gets tougher, you got to punch first. And I think that was kind of our message to the girls is. I watch a lot of Nick Saban. If you didn't know, I'm an Alabama grad, so Roll Tide. But I was watching Nick Saban, and I told him, Nick Saban had said, you know, don't let them dictate the pressure. You apply it, and that was kind of our message. Apply the pressure first. Apply it, and be the team that you can be. So, and we had a good night. And it was a very good night.
Yeah. And those are wins that make what is coming in January and February, and then the grind. Yeah. I mean, and I think this is going to be a super competitive year in the district. How January, February goes puts you in the best position for February, March, and tournaments and things like that. Kind of. Talk to me a little bit about what's happening over the holiday period coming up. And I think you're playing, you're staying close, but you're playing a lot of good teams.
Oh, yeah. So I think, so this week we play Columbia Tuesday at Columbia. Going to be a good game, good matchup. Then we go to Independence Friday and Saturday. Play two good teams. I want to say CPA.
Let's see. I see Greenwood, Indiana, but that could have changed. No, that's after Christmas.
Yeah, that's at Summit. Tullahoma. Play some really good teams. Yep. Yeah, we play CPA before Christmas, play Tullahoma, play another team after Christmas at Summit. So some really, really good teams, good matchups, going to really challenge us.
Tullahoma, the old head coach at Blackman down there, Chad Hibden. So that'll be an interesting matchup there. So I guess if you're a basketball player or coach, you pretty much know that you have just a couple of days to celebrate Christmas and then it's back in the gym, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yep. We get about 4 days off, 3 days off. Everybody goes sees their family, and we're back at it.
Well, it's been fun having you here, of course, this morning, and you know, just a pretty cool coaching staff, not just Coach Grandstaff, but with, you know, Corbeth and that Martin guy who's probably always, you have to just drag him around, but you know, he does all right.
Yeah, he just drag him around. I just drag my brother around.
Yeah. Shelby, appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Shelby Gibson joining us, the assistant coach at Blackman, one of them out there on the Coaches Show, which is brought to you by some of our great sponsors like the law offices of John Day, who've helped thousands of people get legal help when they've needed it the most. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day.
It's not just your home or car. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams. We see your home and car, as the time and memories that you put into it. Give me a call at 615-459-2683 and let me help you give them the protection they deserve.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wommel. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto.
Hey there, it's Brian, and as a customer of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, I've seen firsthand how they go above and beyond. They have the Gateway and Memorial Boulevard locations, along with 9 more across Middle Tennessee. They make it easy to get the help I need, and I can always talk to a real person. That's a big deal nowadays. That's why I trust First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. They're always there when I need them.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show is brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com. And joining me this morning is girls coach Laverne Wolverines, Lady Wolverines, Coach Steve Carter. Steve, how are you this morning?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I know we look at this and kind of look at the season as a whole up to this point, and I know you've had a win or two. You've also struggled a little bit, and I'm thinking from looking at scores. I'm not at the games, but looking at scores, I know you're having a little bit of trouble putting points on the board.
Yes, sir. Just trying to find a way to get a little bit more consistent for 4 quarters. Last night against East Nashville, we go out and play some really stiff competition, try and get prepped for the gauntlet that we have to go through for the district play. Mm-hmm. And East Nashville team last night that's really, real well coached and fundamentally sound, and so did not show up in the first half and got our feet under us in the second half and really competed and fought. And hopefully we turned the corner last night, because I was really impressed with how we, didn't quit last night and showed up and really made some gutsy plays there at the end and turned it into a ball game. The score may not show up like it looks like it, but after we dug ourselves in the hole the first half, we really played evenly matched with them in the second half.
I think really consistency is the word. You've played a Harpeth Hill team. They're ranked. I mean, your schedule is pretty good, and I know there's a reason for that, is for improvement, and you can only do that if you play really the best.
Yes, sir. Harpeth Hall we played early on this week as well. They've got a couple of girls that play for B. Wright and some Pride teams, and so really well-coached program as well, and something where me and the coach got together this summer and decided we want to start playing, and we don't run from competition. And, again, playing in the district that we do, especially when we come off the break, we hit it head-on pretty hard. So we want to play the good competition early on and get tested, get battle-tested early, and it's going to make us better in the long run.
One thing I do notice, and as I noticed that
you're having difficulty scoring, but your defense is playing very well, and keeping the score low is a big plus for your program.
Yes, sir. We had a goal last night trying to hold East under 35, and some people would look at that and say that's a high expectation. But again, in the second half, we showed up. In the first half, we dug ourselves in some holes early on, just with some mental mistakes that we made. So defensively was where we try to put a lot of focus this off season, this summer. We got it done on that end, and the offense is going to come. East is very physical. Every time we cut, they hit us early. Played very physical from the tip, and so again we made adjustments. The girls were very coachable last night in timeouts at halftime, and that's why I'm excited about what we did in the second half, and hopefully moving forward that'll continue to build some momentum.
You've Steve, you've been at the beginning of the and I hate to say rebuild because I know when you take over a program, you sometimes you lose seniors. It's not like you can keep them for years and years and years, but that's part of it too, is getting people to buy into the program. And it seems like in the last couple of years that's starting to come around a little bit for you, and keeping kids in your program and finding girls that want to play ball.
Yes, sir, and I'm excited about what our feeder school is doing. I was able to go watch Laverne Middle play the other night. Former player that played for us when I was helping with the boys coach at Laverne years ago. Kyle Carter is an assistant over there, and he's jumped in and started putting some footwork in over there at that program. And so hopefully they're starting to build something there, and that's going to enable us to have some more success at the high school level. He was actually at the game last night. Me and him was able to catch up and talk. So I like what he's able to help with, implement over there at the feeder program. And then with what we have there, I've got 3 seniors. One of them's been out sick, but the 2 that's been with me now for 3 years, I just asked them last night, I said, can y'all give me another 4 years? Just wouldn't trade them for nothing. Mm-hmm. Hard work, good leadership. Trinity Ryan had 7 blocks at Harpeth Hall the other night. She's getting it done on the defensive end. Sometimes has to handle the pressure with our point guard, Ajani Sistrup. And then Jada Starnes getting it done on both ends, defensively and offensively, just really a workhorse. So I'm just excited for what they've brought to the program. Going to hate to see them leave at the end of the year, but couldn't ask for 2 more quality leaders than those 2 young ladies.
And, Steve, when you get leaders like that kind of bodes well for the rest of the program and for years to come, to have those kind of girls, because they go back and they talk about their experience at Laverne and the things that they accomplished, and I would think that helps the overall program looking down the road here.
Yes, sir. One of the biggest things with the culture that we started to kind of shift, and this is, it started with the coaches before me. I've got a good relationship with both the former 2 coaches that were here before me. But we started bringing former players back. This summer They came in and worked out with us some, came back and talked to the girls. So with the excitement in the air brewing, with the success of the boys program, Coach Rutland does a fantastic job. Couldn't ask for a better working relationship with the boys coach, and we get along well and always pitching ideas back and forth with each other. He came in and was helping us the other day some, and such a good point of view to have from him. And the excitement with our new boys coach, football coach with Coach Johnson. So there's some excitement in the halls with what we're trying to do with the athletic programs. Level 5 school this year with the educational success as well. So I'm excited for what we have going on at the halls of Laverne High School.
And we're talking to Coach Steve Carter, head coach of the Laverne Lady Wolverines. And Steve, let's take a little bit look down the road here. I know you've got some Christmas stuff going on. How do you plan for that? What's happening going forward here in the next couple of weeks?
We play Antioch on Monday, so one of our former district foes in our last district alignment that we have. So got a couple of former players that had some moves, and so they're over there playing now. So that's going to be fun to play against some former players. And then we got the Independence Tournament coming up that following Friday and Saturday of next week, where we play Hillsborough on Friday, a really good competitive team that's going to play aggressive defense and going to really test us. And then we play Pearl Cone on Saturday.
And Steve, you talk about the district, and it does change quite. I think it changes too often, but that's just my opinion. But and seeing old foes like Antioch, I know that's that's good. That's relationships that you've gotten from playing in the same. The districts change, and it makes it kind of difficult sometimes to make that adjustment to new teams as you're going to be playing.
It does, and then with the change for next year, it's going to be harder to fill up your schedule. You're going to have to reach out and find some more opponents to fill up what you need to work on. And, it's always changing. So I think the one that we're in next year, starting next year, is a 4-year alignment. So that's going to be a little bit easier for us to kind of know our foes because it's 4 years that we play them. So it's always a challenge. You never know what you're going to get. But like I said, especially with the boys and the success they've had over the last few years, we try to go out and try to play the same team so it's easier on the transportation. And they're going to play tough competition, and we welcome all competition. It's only going to make us better in the long haul.
Steve, you really have to stay on the phone, don't you, to get a schedule going, and with it changing like it does. You're a busy man outside of just the word coaching. There's a lot more to it. I think people don't realize that.
Yes, sir, it is. But this year I've been blessed with some few more coaches on my staff that has really helped me take some of the workload off of me. Got a young lady, Coach Williams, who's been able to take and do a lot of film breakdown for me. So it's always good to have good help, and it makes it easier for me. And I love what I do. Coaching's in my family bloodline, and it helps me get through. I like the grind of it, and I love the coaching relationships that we've built over the years. And so, like I said, I'm built for it. I enjoy it, and I'm excited for especially what we have these next few weeks before the holidays. And then, when we come out of Christmas break, we got a gauntlet from the beginning. We got Wilson Central first, and then we have Lebanon, and then we go straight to Stewart's Creek. So it's right around the corner.
Just from hearing you seem a little more excited than I think maybe in years past. I think you like what you're seeing. I know the record probably doesn't show that, but from what I'm understanding from you, I believe you're pretty happy with the group that you've got, and I think that's really important.
Well, we don't pass the look test when you look at our record, but I can promise you this: after last night, if you talk to East, they're going to say they were battle tested in that second half. And I've asked the girls since I've taken over the program to take on your head coach's persona and my assistant coaches as well. We're gonna work. We're gonna be in a gym, and we're gonna do everything we can to put them in the right spots. But they have to be willing to buy in, and they've done that. So again, just really excited about what we did in the second half last night, and if we can push forward and build that momentum with what we did this summer early on when we were really getting things done on both ends of the floor. I think we've got a chance to open some eyes this year, and hopefully after the teams play us this year, they're going to know that they were in for a fight.
One last thing, I know when you go to Laverne, that's an experience, and it's a good experience. I know you guys are really working hard at making that a pleasurable experience for your fans, for former players, for radio personnel. I mean, it's a fun place to be, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys down the road here after Christmas.
Yes, sir. It helps when you have good people that you work with, and so from our faculty to all the coaches at all the programs, from our soccer coach to Coach McMillan, the baseball coach and softball, we all know the grind that it takes to try to build a successful program, and we're all there talking and sharing ideas, and it makes it easier for each other when we're all on the same page. So it's an exciting time to be there. And really looking forward to the growth of the overall sports program that we have going on there.
All right, Steve. It's good talking to you, and have a good Christmas, and we will talk to you as soon as we get back after the first of the year.
Yes, sir. Same to you guys, and we appreciate you guys as always.
All right. That's Steve Carter, the head coach of the Lady Wolverines of Laverne. And this portion of the show has been brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Cal Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. We're going to talk Oakland basketball when we come back.
This is a paid legal ad.
You've probably heard it a million times. If you're injured, call a lawyer. And you probably haven't, because you don't know how much it will cost, how long it will take, or even if you have a case. At the law offices of John Day, we provide a free initial consultation because we understand that folks don't want to pay a lawyer only to find out they don't have a case. If you think we can help, we do so on a contingency basis, which means we only get paid if you do. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
Whether you have a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply has premium feeds and dog foods you can't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Plus, every Saturday morning they have a local producer-only farmers market with fresh vegetables, beef, pork, and more.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? Let's work together to help ensure your finances can keep up with your unique needs over the long haul. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for an appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. John Dinkins back with you, and we've got Scott Thomas here in the house, the head coach of the Lady Patriots of Oakland. And how is it? First year? How's it going?
It's been fun. You know, it's like any job coming into the first year. You know, I feel like your first year is always a challenge. You know, everything's new, a lot of change, and you know, getting the kids to buy in to what you're doing. But you know, I feel like we're taking small steps forward, you know, each week, and you know, proud of how the girls have bought in so far.
You've had some really tough games too. Your schedule is pretty tough.
Oh yes.
And I know you want it that way, but you kind of have to take some bumps with the younger team, and you've also had a few injuries too that have kind of contributed to it too.
You know, Kyla Joy, she's had shoulder and ankle issues, but first game against Tullahoma, her shoulder popped out of play, so she missed 2 or 3 games, and you know, we finally got her back last week. So trying to get her back, you know, into basketball shape, and you know, we've had a few other ankle issues, and you know, so it's, you know, it's just a lot of growth we're going through right now, and you know, I feel like we've competed really well so far in every game.
Kyla's a tremendous athlete. I mean, she doesn't know, I don't think, how good she really could be.
Yeah.
I know she's a track star and can do that, but she can do a lot of things and fast as lightning down the floor
she
too.
Is, and she's a heck of a competitor too.
Yes.
She does not like losing.
Yeah, her mama was that way too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I want to say it right, Wisniewski, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it close, right?
Yes.
Caden's kind of the leader, I guess, on the floor at times, and having taken that's a new role for her as well.
Yeah, she's, you know, the last 2 weeks, she's starting to come along and shoot the ball really well, and, you know, she's a kid that never comes out of the game. You know, I can't. Last night, I think, was the first time I took her out in the fourth quarter just to get some other kids in, but she plays her butt off the entire game, always is playing as hard as she can, and she's really been a good spark for us.
Big win over Mount Juliet, and I know that had to do Worlds for Confidence, and she scored 17. Cadence did.
Yeah.
That was a big win for you guys.
Yeah, Mount Juliet's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've had a tough schedule too, and you know, coming into us, you know, they played Lebanon, Page, and I think Nolensville maybe all back to back, and you know, they competed really well in all 3 of those games that I watched on film with them, and you know, I think I saw they beat Wilson Central last night, so you know, that was a good solid win for us at home, and you know, I feel like you know, we've been right there, and you know, the week before, you know, we played Upperman close the whole game to 8 points, and you know, lost to Green Hill by 4, so we're really close, just trying to work on some little things to to get us over the hump.
Is it consistency or putting 4 quarters together? Kind of is that some of it?
Yeah, and it's we've had issues with kids getting in foul trouble, and it depth wise it kind of puts us in a little bit of bind. We got a real young bench, so just like you said, just putting 4 quarters together, and really taking pride in the small things, not turning the ball over when we don't need to turn over, taking smart shots when we need a good shot, and rebounding the basketball when we need that rebound.
The schedule, like I said, is really, really tough, and I know you play Cookeville. They could possibly be the number 1 team in the state right now, and but boy, that's how you get better, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you have to take some licks.
Yeah, I'm a competitor too, so I'd rather play teams like Cookeville, and really find out what we need to get better at, and we went to their place last night. It's always a tough place to play, and I thought
I hate going there actually.
Yeah, we couldn't get a bus so we weren't able to leave Oakland until about 4:15. So
wow,
we literally pulled up. I already had them dressed, so it was basically us pulled up, put our shoes on, and we had about a 15-minute warm up, and we were playing. So not using that as excuse, and I actually thought that we played probably the best first quarter, early second quarter that we have all year. We were up 10-9 early in the second, and my point guard, Alora Cox, got in foul trouble, so had to sit her the whole second. And then, they went on a 17-0 run, and we just had trouble catching up from there.
We're talking to Scott Thomas, head coach of the Oakland Lady Patriots. And, Scott, when we look ahead now, and all these games are important, every one of them are important, but we're getting ready for region play coming up and very soon. And I don't know. I think maybe it's a crapshoot. I mean, there's a lot of teams that I don't say their weaknesses. There just maybe not some strong points in their game. Everybody's got something, and I think you feel like your team can, if they can respond and like you say, get more consistent. They're going to be in the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we can. Our district is tough. There's several really good teams and really good coaches in this league, and I think it's a battle every night, and I think anybody can beat anybody on any given night in our league, and that's what this time, this season before we get into district play, that's really our main goal, is to try to get us ready for district play, because that's the season that really matters.
Yeah, it's the old 3-season thing. It's a pre thing in Christmas, then the regular season, then the tournament's a whole different shebang. Yeah. I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you a personal question before we leave. Not real personal, but personal enough, I guess.
Right.
But talk about what you've got coming up and what's going on around the Christmas break, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes. So for us, it don't get any easier. So Tuesday we'll travel to Stewart's Creek and play them Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday we're going down to White County and playing in their little Christmas tournament. So we start out with South Gibson on Thursday, who's undefeated right now as well, and then Friday and Saturday, it depends on who wins and loses, but of course, White County's in that tournament. Bearden's in the tournament. York Institute's in the tournament. So there's a lot of good teams, and should be a lot of good tests for us next week.
And really, I guess district or schedule starts in the first week of January? Is that as soon as you get back?
Yeah, so I think January 14th is our first district game. We got Rockville at home.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And now the personal stuff, okay? Because I've not had an opportunity actually to speak to you in a lengthy time. So here we go.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I think you and your brother, you're like legends from Riverdale. Okay.
I don't know about that.
And I got to see you play doing ball games and watching football, and does that make you, I know you have high expectation as a coach, does that make it harder for you, or do you understand that, okay, I had those growing pains as well when I was growing up as an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, me and my brother were blessed to have great coaches, and Coach Rankin, Coach Adelot, we were super blessed, and as a player you don't always see the ways that coaches are trying to help you, and young people, and I've being in a head role now, it's a challenge to get these young kids to understand that us coaches are truly trying to help them. It's not always us just trying to harp on them about every little thing, but it's more than the sport that you're playing. We're trying to prepare them for when they graduate and go on to college and start a family and things like that. So I think the coaches that I had, I didn't see it then, but I feel like it, looking back, everything that I was taught and coached from really good coaches is helped me with my coaching career today. And coaching under great coaches like Coach Grandstaff, and coaching with Coach Creasy for a long time, seeing how they have always been, and the culture of their programs. I try to take bits and pieces of what I've learned from them, and just incorporate it into what we're doing with the girls.
And you're under the situation when Coach Adelot took over for Coach Rankin. Mm-hmm. You were in there during that period of time. Yeah. Well, now Oakland's changed coaches, and you're in that as the coach. Yeah. So I guess that has to help you a little bit understand.
Yeah, because even when I remember when Coach Adelot came in, there was a lot of questions, about his style of play and things like that. So it took us a while to buy into it, but I think that's the main thing is you got to have the buy-in from your players, or you're never going to get really truly as good as you can be.
I know you also were a really good basketball player too. I know you've got that with you. And football, basketball, doesn't matter. I mean, I know you've coached football too. So.
Yeah, love them both. Yeah. I just love the competitiveness of it, and just the seeing basketball. The girls I coach and the ones in football. Just it's just a real joy and honor to see the kids do well.
And you got a good wife that understands football and basketball, and that you're going to be there at every one of them.
She's been great. She's been great. So that's always key too, is having a supportive family.
Well, I hope you have a great Christmas, Scott, and we'll be talking to you when you get back from break, and have a successful break, but also have a relaxing Christmas, a day or two anyway.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. That's Scott Thomas, head coach of the Oakland Patriots. This portion of the show brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete. When we come back, I think we're talking Stewart's Creek, I believe, coming up.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider? At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We welcome you back to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner. John Ding is back with you. Coach Starkey of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks with us. And, Coach, last night you had quite a game. And when the game first started, it looked like, boy, this is going to be a tough matchup.
Really?
But the size looked like they had, some big girls. But, gosh, that defense start of the second quarter was unbelievable.
Yeah, we came out really slow, which is unfortunate. Something we definitely have to fix and get better at. But once we turned it on, our defense did its job and created the turnovers necessary to get us up pretty good in the first half.
I know you've got some seniors. You've got quite a few seniors, but you have done a great job, I think, of mixing those young kids in there in the game. In fact, you played 5 different people at one time.
Yeah, tonight we were able to kind of platoon system a little bit. We 5 in and 5 out on a lot of occasions. But 6 seniors, so we are super senior heavy. Bria Van went down with an injury on Tuesday. So she's going to be visiting the doctor on Monday. So we'll keep her lifted up in prayer because we definitely need her to return. So this evening, last night against Gallatin, we actually started a sophomore. And that's Amira Maynard. Amira has worked incredibly hard. She played varsity for us as a freshman last year, and she is more than deserving of the starting spot in last night's game against Gallatin, and she did really well.
In fact, we made her as one of the stars of the game last night, but the way she played and so much coolness as a young player, and boy, that's got to make you feel good for the coming years, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're excited about Amira for sure. She brings a ton of energy, and nothing really gets to her, whether she's playing well or she's not playing well, or she's on the bench or she's in the game. She brings a ton of energy, and it's contagious, and we feed off of her a lot. So, like I said, she deserved the spot to start last night, and she's a big part of what we do.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Layla Wilder, because in every game you see her, you would think, okay, she may not score that much, but seems like she's always in double digits.
Absolutely. She stuffs the stat sheet. Last year, she turned me on to a 5x5, which is a statistic that I had never heard of until she recorded the 5x5 last year. So that's 5 statistics in 5 different categories. And I've been paying close attention to that ever since last year. And she just about does it almost every night. I know Tuesday night she had 10 points, 5 assists, something like 4 blocks, 4 steals, and she's constantly creating deflections. So the 5x5, we almost need to just call Layla Wilder the 5x5 because she every night she's putting up stats in every single category.
I'm so impressed with the defense, and you came in the second quarter and started pressing them. I think there was 6 consecutive steals at one point in the beginning of that second quarter. So your defense makes your offense go, I think.
Yeah, for sure, especially when we're faced against a zone defense. When we see another zone defense, we know if we're not already playing super intense on defense, we got to turn it up on defense just so that we have better opportunities to attack a zone defense. And Gallatin did a good job, especially in the first quarter, playing that zone. They ran like a 3-2 zone, and they did really good with it. And we kind of struggled with it, but like I said, once we turned our defense on, created those turnovers, and then it's layup city from there.
I'm impressed with the way Ward. Forgive me, I've lost the name here. Camden Ward, and your the Bernard.
Zeta Bernard.
And what I'm so impressed with them is running the floor.
Yeah, we stress that a lot. We have a transition offense, and a lot of it is predicated and successful based on one of them running to the rim as fast as possible. And so as long as we get at least one of them, and most of the time it's Cam, we teach Cam and tell Cam to try to beat the defense down the floor. And we've had multiple occasions where we're able to hit our outlet, hit it to the wing, and then Cam's wide open, ready to go on the block. And so if we can do that every time, we'll do it every time. So yeah, they're taught and trained to run the floor as fast as they can.
And one thing that I see when you're running a different five out there, is that something you see going down the road later on and during the regular season, that you'll be doing more of that or less?
No, probably not. Tonight was a little bit of an anomaly. We were able to jump Gallatin pretty early and get up pretty good on them. And tonight's platoon system to start the game was more of a motivation for the first group to step it up, because like I said, we didn't come out ready to play, in my opinion. And so that first sub of all five of them coming out was kind of a wake-up call for the first group to step it up. But the platoon, the 5 in, 5 out is not something you'll see very often from us.
I thought it might be a little motivational when you did it, but and sometimes it lights a fire, doesn't it?
It's supposed to, and it did tonight for sure, because once they came back into the game, they were locked in and focused. And I don't know the result of the first half, but I think, yeah, we definitely turned it on. So, yeah.
What was impressive too, Coach, was they held their own. I mean, this group, the second group did a good job while they were in there.
Yeah, there's very little let up. In fact, that's awesome for us in practice, because we can create competition in practice. And Amira, who started tonight, is normally the leader of that second group, that the group that comes off the bench. And so when you got leadership like Amira, and you got girls like Riley and Josie and Gabby that they can come in and compete, man, it makes us a lot better.
I'm interested to think about what the regular season now. I know you're going to be playing some games. I know at Christmas and that kind of thing. We're kind of in the first season, you might say. What do you plan to learn, and how do you want them to improve as these they're not preseason games, but before Christmas and before the regular season really gets kicking in?
Yeah, we've had some moments where we kind of just play basketball, where we all just kind of wait our turn to shoot, as opposed to executing as a team. And so we haven't quite put 4 quarters together where the team really understands in every single possession what the objective or what we're trying to do in that possession. We've had a lot of possessions where it's just like, okay, well, what do we do now? Who's going to shoot? And those possessions don't always end well. Sometimes they do, because we do have some good players, but in order to beat really good competition, every possession has to be executed perfectly. So as we progress towards Christmas break, we're going to play some good competition. We see PCA again, and then we play Webb. So we're excited to play against those good teams. And what we're looking for in those games is at least the majority of possessions. We need to know what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to execute, and as many possessions as possible, and trying to have fewer possessions of just waiting for our turn to shoot.
Sloan Starkey, our guest here on Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner. A couple more questions. I've noticed you, and I watch you, and as I do a lot of the coaches, but you're really, I see a lot of times in the middle of a game, you'll turn and you'll sit and you'll talk to one of your players. And what are you telling them there? Because I think it's fascinating that you're teaching. It's a teaching moment, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah. We can learn in every possession. And so most of my, I would say most of my subs, chances are they're coming out of a game to learn something from me. I feel like I'm obligated in this moment to tell them something. And it's not always a mistake. It's sometimes it's something that they did really well. And I'm trying to reinforce that the decision that you just made was the correct decision. Izzy Hodge is a good example of that. She's new to our program, so she's trying to learn as much as possible. And she has an incredible amount of skill. She's a really good player. And so, Izzy is a good example of subbing her out of the game just to reinforce, hey, Izzy, when we were in that pick and roll and you made that decision to kick it to the wing as opposed to hitting the roller, that was the perfect decision. And so, yeah, we use those opportunities of subs to try to teach as much as possible.
A lot of times in games, you'll see coaches not say anything is what was impressive with me, because they want to know what they did. And I mean, a lot of times they go, what did I do? Why am I coming out? And without having to really make a big deal out of it, you just kind of just kind of politely tell them, really.
Sure. I think a lot of times as coaches, we assume our players know more than what they really do. And even for me, like we're talking about those sub situations, sometimes I'll call them out and just make sure that we're on the same page, because I will assume that they've made a decision based on certain factors, and those factors don't necessarily match up with what the player was thinking. And so sometimes, that communication between player and coach is important to make sure that, both are on the same page and we're thinking alike.
And we forget how old they are sometimes. You got a 14, 15, 16-year-old out there.
Sure.
And no, I think what's impressive to me about those kind of things, they get frustrated too. And I think that's part of it too.
Yeah. And Izzy fits that category really well. She's working through frustration a lot. Like I said, being new to Stewart's Creek and trying to figure out how we do things, and apply, like I said, the tremendous amount of skill that she has led to some frustration. So she's working through that. And once she gets that figured out, and she knows where to apply her skill at Stewart's Creek basketball is going to be a lot better, because she brings a lot to the table.
I know you mentioned you got PCA and web, which is hard enough, but this is what it's all about right now, is playing as tough as competition as you can as you get in during this Christmas season.
Yeah, I set up the schedule to play the top teams in Tennessee, and so far we've played, we've played some really good competition. We played Coffee County, who's ranked in the top 10. We played, I forget their name. They're the Falcons. They were ranked Lincoln County. Thank you. Yeah. Lincoln County, really good team, well-coached team. They were in the top 10, ranked number 8. And then we played Bartlett already this year. So we're playing some really good teams, and we're growing from it for sure.
Got big weekends planned with basketball this weekend?
No, we take the weekends off. We give them a lot of rest on the weekends. So
it's a long season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we're I'm looking at other people's schedule, and I think we've played more games than just about anybody. I feel like we're 11 games into the season. So, with the injury from one of our better players, Bria, we got to make sure that they get time to recover for sure. So.
Well, let me ask you one more thing. Where are the areas you feel like you can improve? I know you said about sometimes you play a little flat maybe at times, but what are some things you want to improve on? You want to see this team get to?
I think I've told the girls since this summer that if we can be a team that is impossible to press, then we'll be incredible. So we got to get our turnovers down. And then the other thing is our shooting percentage is really, really low right now, which will not stay that way because we have high quality shooters. But again, it kind of goes back to those possessions where we're all just kind of waiting to shoot our shot, and we don't know where those shots are supposed to come from. So as we get better at our offense, we'll have a better understanding of where and when to shoot those shots, and that shooting percentage will go up. And then finally, I guess the last thing is just we got to play 32 minutes of hard, intense defense. And tonight, or I should say against Gallatin last night, was an example of not playing for 32 minutes of hard, intense defense. So I think those three categories is what's going to get us to a really, really good team in Tennessee.
Well, the next time we talk, you'll probably have somebody else interviewing you. But I'm glad I got to talk to you twice in one time. But it'll be after Christmas, and we'll have more to talk about, I'm sure. And I know you're looking forward to the regular season too.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, Coach, good luck. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, by the way. All right. That's Sloan Starkey, the head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks, with us.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service. From personal tax preparation to business bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, at Craig's Tax Service, our staff is here to help.
Get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
As a former Siegel Star football player, I know the importance of the high school sports experience. Good luck to all county student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stuff for it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
Whether you're buying or selling a home or whether you're buying or selling commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auctions helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit our website at parksauction.com to learn more.
Hi there, 12 and a half now, $15.
Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
30, sold it to you.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coaches Show brought to you by the Murfreesboro Special Census. Counting everyone means more state dollars to improve roads, parks, and services. Fill out the fast, easy, and secure form at murfreesborocensus.com. Dalton, have you had yours done? Have you done yours? Okay. Thumbs up from Dalton. Perry Lyons is our guest here tonight, or this morning, the head coach of the Lady Rockets of Rockville. And Perry, we usually talk to you about softball. And the good thing is we're going to talk with softball with you this year as well. But we're gonna start out with basketball. And I know we're going to talk about some injuries I know you're having, but and your schedule has been murderous, but you're hanging in there, and you've had some good games. A big win, I think, over Tullahoma, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Just not too long ago.
Played Tullahoma on Tuesday night. Excuse my voice. Got a little bit of a head cold, but anyway, had a big win over Tullahoma. Great coach over there with Chad Hibden. He's won some state titles, so that was a good win. And then we ended the week with Ensworth and Lipscomb.
The Rockville Lady Rockets may look a little different than what we're used to. I know you've had some injuries, and I know Wilkerson was a huge loss, and a 3-year starter basically because he played a lot as a freshman. So, how have you handled that? I know some people obviously have to step up.
Yeah, we've had girls that stepped up that haven't had a lot of time. On a varsity level. They were on the team, but they're kind of role players. So they're learning to be a starter and starter minutes and what it's going to take. It was a big blow losing Aiden. It was MCL. She will be back. She'll be wearing a knee brace and having surgery after the season.
Okay, so she will be able to get back to playing. That's good. That's good. Not as bad as I thought. And I know you've got another one in Haven. And so when you get a situation like that, you really can't fret about it. You just have to just move on because it happens in every sport, and I'm sure it's happened with you guys in softball too.
Yeah, we lost two really strong players. Haven Harris, prayers to her. She had a head-on collision in a vehicle, and she stretches the floor out. She's able to make a 3-ball from anywhere on the court. So when you have her out on the floor, it opens it up for the other 4 people on the floor. So we lost our 3-ball threat for right now. And like I said, Aiden, a physical big body in there in the post. So we're fighting through some injuries. But I'm very proud of the girls that have stepped up and contributing to our team.
Let's talk about Jade because she scored 10 points. And let's talk about the Lipscomb game first. Let me go there. A very, very good Lipscomb team, and it was a good game for you guys last night.
Man, it was a great crowd, great atmosphere. What we did was we flipped the boys' game and girls' game, so the boys played at 6, the girls played at 7:30. We did that to give college coaches a chance to get out and see the game. Lipscomb was a phenomenal shooting team. They play fast. Kind of like what we like to do, so we got to see different style, different version of a team that we wanted to play and play at prime time. It was great atmosphere. Great.
And boy, I'm telling you, there's good atmosphere at Rockville just about in any game. But if you get a team like that, boy, they really come out. But they come out all the time, don't they? I mean, the crowds are always good.
Rockville is unbelievable how they support, all the sports, the community. Like, it's an unbelievable community that people really, really, really love Rockville. They love the Rockets, and we want to put a product on the floor to make them proud. And so, like, last night was really good for girls basketball in the fact that, we're trying to bring a different style to the city. We play really fast. The score, I believe, ended up 75-64 or something like that. And that's a lot of points in a girls basketball game.
Yes. And Jade kind of stirs the drink. Jade Watson, she kind of stirs the drink to get things going, doesn't she?
We play Jade at the 1 and the 2 because she can get downhill and score. She also runs point guard too, so I have her and Bella Wright, basically 2 point guards on the floor at one time, and they just interchange. They
Bella's played several years too.
Yeah, she's a junior.
Yeah.
She's a junior. So I got a sophomore and a junior guard, and they work together on bringing the ball up and getting the ball down the floor. Yeah.
I know without Wilkerson, tell me about Crawford because I think she's a tremendous talent. And, boy, she has gotten herself in good shape, and because she has to deal with some injuries, hadn't she?
Yeah, she had back issues, but Crawford is going to be something people are going to have to deal with. She has really gotten in good condition. She's in good shape. She can even stretch it out and shoot the 3 ball.
Wow.
She's not just only in the post, but she can. We also let her shoot 3 balls, and she actually makes them. I think her free throw percentage right now is 80% from the free throw line. So she's going to be a problem.
Well, that's great with a big to shoot free throws.
Yep.
That's really huge.
Yep.
And let me talk to me a little bit about Cadence Thomas. She scored 16 in that win over Tullahoma.
Cadence Thomas was big in Tullahoma, like I said, with the injuries coming in. She's only a sophomore, and I keep telling her, hey, your time is coming. She's a 6th man. She's the first one off the bench. And I said, it doesn't matter if you start or if you're 6th man. She's getting starter minutes. She plays a lot, and she's very, very active, disruptive on the defensive end. She's very fast, tenacious defender.
And I know you're never happy about losing, but you're settling there in about the 500 range with wins and losses, with the schedules you've played and the injuries you've had. I would think you're okay. You're pleased with it going into what's the regular season.
Yeah, what people don't know is we had a lot of injuries so far, and the team that they're seeing right now is not going to be who they see in January. Once we get our pieces back, also it's building depth in our bench. We're building depth because people that weren't playing as much are now playing a lot. So it's going to make us an even deeper team in January.
It's a tough district. I mean, everybody knows it. And I was mentioning to Scott earlier this morning that it seemed like everybody's got like an Achilles, something they are keeping them from being like having major success. Right now, anyway. With you, it's injuries. I think Blackman's very young. You've got Oakland's young. I mean, so everybody's got a little something there. So by the time you get to January in district tournaments, I guess it's going to be a whole different ballgame for everybody.
I tell you what, Rutherford County in a whole has phenomenal athletes, and that's top to bottom in every sport. So it's going to be a dogfight. Come district time, all the teams, like you said, are really good. We're not overlooking anyone. Everyone's good and is capable of winning. So, it's going to be an exciting time.
Perry, when you took over the job, and you had worked with, I know, the JV and worked with some of the younger ones, so it was kind of a smooth transition for you because you already knew everybody, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't looking to be a head basketball coach. The opportunity presented itself for whatever reason. And I said, well, I know the kids. I know what we need to try to do. I thought the previous coach, Coach Hockenberry, I thought he did a great job. He left the foundation there, and we just went from where he had already built.
The fact that you are familiar with those guys, though, I think it kind of helped you start this program back. And I guess what I'm saying is, the trust is there from the girls in the beginning.
Yeah, there was the interviewing process. There were several different candidates that they interviewed or whatever, and the girls kept going to the principal and said, we want Coach Lyons. That's our man. That's who we want. And that means a lot to me, right? For them wanting and trusting me. Because you're not
easy on them. I've seen you in action. You're not. Yeah.
No. We're not easy on them. That's why we built a schedule like we did. We want to take some blows in the first part to help us later on. So we built a really, really tough schedule on purpose. We faced Vashon out of Missouri. That's the defending state champs out of Missouri. We played them last Saturday. No cupcakes on our schedule.
Yeah, and the fact, and again, watching you with JV and freshmen, and you don't cut them any slack, and that's good that you've got respect, and that they wanted you. That's huge. Tell me a little bit about what's going on after Christmas or before Christmas. What you've got going on in the schedule department?
Yeah, we'll go into Christmas break with Green Hills. We'll play Green Hills and Mount Juliet.
They're tough. Yeah,
they're tough. And then we'll go down to Memphis and we'll play in the Collierville tournament where we'll hopefully face like teams like Bartlett and Collierville. We're just trying to play teams that's going to get us. Ready
that's a
for our
good bonding situation too.
Good
going
bonding
on the road.
situation.
Yeah.
They have to learn how to act on the road. What it's going to take if you want to play college. You have a roommate. You have to share the room, keep the room clean, all that type of stuff to build them for going to college.
Well, it's to me, coaching is so much more than what people think if you just show up on Fridays and Tuesdays and play ball.
No, you got to be a father, mother, a guidance counselor, a coach. Like you said, I don't cut them any slack. They also know I love them. I love them, but we're going to do it the right way. If that means I have to get onto you a little bit and dig into you, I will. But at the same time, I also let them know I love them.
Yeah, that's a fine line, isn't it? To run, having respect, and then they also know you love them. That's pretty amazing to have that, and I know you do with the softball team as well. So,
build relationships. It's all about relationships. When the basketball stops bouncing, I want them to come back 5-10 years later and be like, hey, coach, how you doing? And just you want to build those relationships. That's why I'm able to dig into them, because we do have a relationship.
Do any of the girls, will they transfer to softball? Do you got any softball
I've been trying
players
to
on the
talk,
team?
actually, because they're very athletic. The basketball team's very athletic, so I've been trying to get 2 or 3 of them. Hey, if you just come out and pinch run, but it hadn't worked out. It hadn't worked out yet. So,
first things first, I guess. Perry, we appreciate you coming in this morning. I know you're not a little bit under the weather, and have a good Merry Christmas, you and your family. Okay?
Thank you very much. Same to you guys too. Thank you.
All right, that's Perry Lyons, the head coach of the Rockville Lady Rockets. And this portion of the show has been brought to you by the Law Offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
Oh. I know it's a busy time, but this is also a time of giving. And I need you to give a moment of your time to fill out the special census for Murfreesboro. Go to murfreesborocensus.com. It only takes a couple of minutes, and you'll do a lot for our community. Go to murfreesborocensus.com. Fill out the special census today. Can Santa count you in?
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
I'm Danny Brewer. Welcome to the Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more. I'm extremely pleased now to be joined by Siegel head girls basketball coach Brian Weekly. Coach Weekly, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Just getting up, getting ready to go work out after this.
All right. So what does our workout regimen consist of? You run, you lift weights, you do both. What do you do?
Try to do a little bit of both. Try to get a mile in every morning, and then depending on the day, today's chest and shoulders. So.
All right. Yeah. So now this is something that I'd heard that. Do you do cardio before or after you lift weights?
I like to do it before just because I want to get it out of the way personally.
Yeah, the cardio is usually not my favorite part of the workout either. Although I'd heard, of course, for me being an old guy, I'm trying to kind of lose a little bit of weight here and there, that the cardio doing it afterwards is better for losing weight. Have you heard that?
I'm sure it is just from, your energy level and everything like that. You're amped up and stuff. So, it probably is a little easier, at the end and burning more calories too.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. And that's, of course, like I said, for an old guy like me, that's what it can be about sometimes, burning calories. So let's talk a little bit about you, Brian Weekly. This is my first time interviewing you, so I'm very blessed, happy you're here. Tell me a little bit about yourself and who Brian Weekly is. Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and then moved to Hendersonville in middle school. Went to Hendersonville High, graduated from Hendersonville, went to Vol State and then Tennessee State University and got a physical education degree. And then first my student teaching job at Beach and first year of coaching was under Darren Joins out there. Learn everything you can about the 1-3-1.
Right.
And then moved to Memphis and was at Millington Middle School for 2 years out there coaching basketball. And then moved. At that point, decided to move back to the Middle Tennessee area, and Dawn Barker, had an opening and everything at Stewart's Creek, and did 2 years with her and Tony Rutland, the Laverne coach. Me and the three of us working together, and then from Stewart's Creek, I went to Rockville and coached girls basketball, volleyball, and softball.
All right, outstanding.
Yeah. So then last year, I got my first opportunity as a head coach at Forest High School, coaching boys over there. And then this year, I wanted to get back on the girls' side. I coached girls travel ball, so, being on the girls' side is where I felt like I should be and need to be. So when Siegel opened up again, I, took the opportunity to try and get that job. And, I'm thankful that Mr. Creasy and Coach Wine have given me an opportunity.
Outstanding. We'll talk about those two guys here in just a minute, but sounds like you've kind of did a little bit of a tour of Middle Tennessee. Talk about for a second the difference between Stewart's Creek and Forest, because I know that out there in Chapel Hill, a little bit of a different community, good community, good community, but a little bit different when you're going from 4A school to because they're single A, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
double
talk about
double A.
They're double A now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So going from a school with 2,300 or so kids, you can kind of be unseen at Stewart's Creek, Rockville, Siegel. There's right now at Siegel I do strength and conditioning for cheerleading, so I don't nobody sees me unless you're a cheerleader or a girls basketball player. It's a different environment to going to Forest last year. I knew every kid in the school by September.
Right.
So it's 7th grade through 12th grade there. So that was definitely a little different for me. I'd never been in a small school setting like that, and it was interesting for sure.
Yeah, it did kind of a little bit more adding to the resume because there are differences between schools like that.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. Out there, it's the community part of it is big, and everybody knows everybody out there, and so you seem to get a lot of support, from within the community in a small community like that. And that's something you try to do at the bigger schools too, but it's within the school. It's not really on the outside of the school as much.
Right, exactly. Where there, anywhere you walk in town, people know you. Hey, look, there's a basketball
Right.
coach. Hey, what's up, Coach Weekly? Hey, how you doing? Let's talk a little bit about Siegel Nation.
Yeah.
All right, so there's been a very proud tradition athletically at Siegel, and baseball has been good. Coach Revis, he's top notch. Football's had their days, especially under Coach Wyatt, and stuff like that. Girls basketball has had some good moments. Boys basketball has had some good moments. Talk a little bit about Siegel Nation and being a part of that now for you.
Yeah, that's it's been a lot of fun for me the first 3 or 4 months of being there. Everybody I work with is they're great people. The PE department, we've got some really amazing people in that department, and getting to work with Coach Rigsby and Coach Shutt and Coach Martin, the boys coaches, and getting to see them and talk to them every day, that makes a huge difference for me. And then having Coach Smith, she's our soccer coach. She was coach of the year for soccer this year in girls soccer. So she's one of my assistant coaches, and she's been a big help for me, adjusting and everything. And then Coach Middleton, who he's coached girls basketball, softball. He's kind of been around for a long time, and having him on staff too, he's been a huge help for me. Having kind of an old head in a way, to be able to lean on him and ask him questions. So Siegel's been great. Coach Wyatt, if you ask me, he's one of the best athletic directors I've ever been around. So, Coach Wyatt's been great, and just being able to ask him questions, and he seems to know the answer to a lot of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's smarter than he looks. I don't know what that. Me and Coach Wyatt are buddies. Coach Middleton. Let's talk a little bit about him. Sean Middleton, coaching icon. I mean, he's been in Rutherford County for decades, had lots of success. Having a guy like that in your corner has to be maybe a little bit of a security blanket for you.
Yeah, no, he's been through all the ups and downs as well as as a coach. So, he's been big in my corner for those days that we're not hitting on all cylinders at all. And he's been there to preach the patience and kind of help me stay pretty even keel for the most part. And just being able to pick his brain on some things, that's been nice. I got to coach against him in girls basketball and softball while I was at Rockville. So that's a lot of fun. I feel like I already kind of had a relationship with him, coaching against him. So he's a fantastic person. He'll do anything you ask of him, and I couldn't ask for a better assistant.
As dedicated a man as you're going to meet, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about what the philosophy is here at Siegel. Offense first. What are we trying to do offensively? The Lady Stars. What are you looking for from them right now, as far as building blocks and things like that?
Right now, it's just a matter of being able to play together, making good, crisp passes to each other, being able to feed the basketball to the post. Not over dribbling, understanding, cutting, just like the simple things in basketball, just trying to, get them, to understand certain things, teaching them, what the difference is, between, a flare screen, a up screen, a back screen, things like that, understanding, where to be short corner, what you're looking for from the short corner, just, small things that, we're having to teach, every day in practice. So offensively is just about movement right now, and just seeing what the girls can do, and go from there.
Basic fundamentals, because realistically, at the end of the day, because you've been around the sport for quite a few years, it sounds like, at different localities, but it all boils down to fundamentals, does it not?
Right. Yeah. Fundamentals. We work on it quite a bit. We do a lot of ball handling and a lot of shooting. For the first, 30 to 40 minutes of practice is nothing but ball handling and shooting. And then depending on the day, the last couple of days we've focused more on the defensive side, trying to adjust, rotations and things like that, and getting them to understand where to be and how to be there, and angles. That's the other thing, is teaching, when the ball goes from the top to the wing, like we're not just running at the ball. You're running at an angle. You're cutting off top shoulder and making sure that they don't get the opportunity to possibly drive baseline or things like that. So that's fundamentals is huge right now for us, and luckily we do have a really young team, so I feel like fundamentals is the most important thing that we can do this year right now, just trying to build a program.
Well, I think that, no matter what age, whether you senior, later, fundamentals is the key to it all. So you mentioned something there that I kind of find intriguing, the geometry of playing defense. That's what you're trying to teach, right? Is
Right.
the geometry of learning how to play defense.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, is, not overworking yourself defensively. Understanding where you're supposed to be if you're in man-to-man, guarding one girl, or, if you're in 2-3 zone, is it overload on one side, or who do you have behind you, things like that, and just getting them to understand where to be is the major key point to me in defense, and then communication, that's the other one. We harp on communication quite a bit, and slowly but surely we're slowly starting to get that, but just depends on the day right now.
Oh, well, I think that holds true with any high school program.
Right.
Let's talk about what you got coming up. Got the holidays are coming up, obviously. What's on the horizon, the near horizon for Lady Stars basketball?
Well, we were more top heavy on the front end of the schedule. So we played 2 Hall of Fame games, and then Thanksgiving week we played 4 games that week. The last 2 weeks we played 3 games, and so yesterday, having a day off yesterday was nice. This coming week we've got Monday at home versus Shelbyville. We've already played them, so that'll be nice to see how we adjust, see what adjustments we can make, and just see how the girls how they handle it and everything, and see if they kind of learn from it, and if they can make the right adjustments too on the floor. And then Tuesday we go to Warren County, and after that we got a couple weeks of kind of off, and we'll get in the gym after Christmas for a little bit, and then the new year comes, so that's what we.
And then you dive into district play. Yeah. Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here this morning. That's Brian Weekly, head girls basketball coach for the Lady Seagull Stars. Coach, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best luck, and hopefully, certainly, you have some happy holidays.
Appreciate it. Thank
Okay,
you too.
the outstanding, Coach. Appreciate it. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza with 4 Murfreesboro locations: Memorial Boulevard, Warrior Drive, South Rutherford Boulevard, and Old Fort Parkway. Get hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Danny Brewer. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com. I am extremely pleased now to be joined by Eagleville girls basketball coach Chris Lynch. Coach Lynch, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
Outstanding, Coach. It's a wonderful time of year. I mean, we got basketball going on. You've got big-time football is still happening. Holiday season. I mean, it's a good time of year, isn't it?
It is. Great time.
Now, let's talk a little bit about what's been happening with the Lady Eagles here. First thing I want to talk about is the Lady Eagle tradition. I know you've been a huge part of that over the years, but the Eagle girls basketball has been good for a long, long time, and I think we've talked about this before, But tell me a little bit about the Eagleville tradition and how you fit into it all.
Well, you had the late great Donnie Holland, who had 2 state runner-ups, and and Mr. Pate and Mr. Snell, Michael McLaren. So they all kind of set the groundwork, and it's just kind of a unique situation at Eagleville, and I think we have it really good, and have a bunch of great players and students, and the faculty. So it's kind of easy just to step in, and sometimes you feel like it's on cruise control. So it's a lot of work that they laid down, like you said.
Whenever you think about Chris Lynch being in the same sentence as Donnie Holland, I mean, what? Tell me, give me a little bit of something on that. I mean, that's because I knew Donnie, fantastic man, super good guy, fantastic coach too. So what does it mean for you to be in the same sentence as Donnie Holland?
Well, only in the same sentence as we both coached, but I wouldn't put myself in the same with Donnie Holland. He was great, and I only met him a few times, so but I think his work speaks for itself. And here's a story about Donnie Holland. I was working the gates at Eagleville for the graduation, and this man walks up, and I didn't know him. He said, "Who's the girls' basketball coach?" I was like, "Well, I am." He said, "Well, I've got a problem." And I was like, "Oh, no." And he walked me over to our trophy case, and our state runner-up basketballs, they were dusty, and there was a couple of pieces broken. So, I took it pretty hard, and so I decided that the next school year I was going to do something about it. So we got the basketballs re-chromed, bought all new pieces, and made them look really nice. Well, then we invited Coach Holland and any of those teams that played on that team to a basketball game, and presented it to them, and it was pretty nice, and he appreciated it. But sometimes I guess you need a wake-up call.
Well, I'm going to tell you something from my knowledge of Donnie Holland. He's not a guy you want to make angry.
No, he's not.
Donnie was a very matter-of-fact guy, and he, like I said, had a little bit of a temper, but he was an extremely good man and had a great heart. Like I said, I'm very pleased to say that I knew Donnie Holland because, like I said, fantastic man.
And I don't know if it was Donnie Holland magic or what, but we went on to we were only had won a few games. I don't know if we were like 2-13 or something like that. We're having a terrible season, and after that presentation, we went on to win 17 of our last 19 games, won the sub-state, made it to the state tournament. So, it was like maybe he sprinkled a little bit of that magic and wake-up call on it. So that was a great season.
Yeah, fantastic, and it's really kind of cool that it adds to the Eagleville lore that Donnie Holland played a part in your success as well as the success of past Eagleville girls teams. So that is a great story. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then you have Mr. Pate, who always he texted me the other night after we beat Riverdale, and he's still a big part. And Mr. Pate hired me, so I coached with Michael. I played boys when Mr. Snell was a coach, so I've known all those people, and some more than others. But yeah, it's been pretty neat.
So let's talk. You just mentioned something that, man, was going to be one of my next talking points here. Let's talk a little bit about the Eagleville defeating Riverdale. I think that was back on the 3rd of December. But when you think about Eagleville single A school, Riverdale 4A school, what kind of a feather is that in your cap to go into Riverdale and beat the Lady Warriors like that?
I mean, it feels good anytime you can go in county. We had just beaten Central Magnet. They're a 3A school, and then we turn around and beat Riverdale. And during that game, my leading scorer, Brinley Bain, she had 27 in the third quarter with a couple of minutes to go. She was having a great game. And unfortunately, she rolled her ankle and tore a tendon. And, we're just hopeful that we get her back at some point. But we went on and, finished the game without her. Mia Thompson stepped up, had 14 fourth quarter points, and she's really turned it on since Brindley went down. We've been hit with the injury bug, probably worse. Not probably, it's worse than I've ever had in, 20-something years. And Brindley tore an ankle, ligament in her ankle. Ashton Walker, who was running point and tenacious defender, she is getting an MRI this weekend on her knee and hoping that that's not, something serious. Both her and Brindley are high-level softball players, so, they play other games, other sports just because they're competitors. And, I hate to see if anything happens, to dampen that a little bit. But also in that game, Riley Warburton stepped up and had a lot of girls come in and just play their part. So, it was a good win, and we've never played there. And, talking about Mr. Pate, he coached at both schools, and he was in Germany, so he could not be there. But, that would have been a good game for him to be at. And so it was pretty exciting. They played really well that night and hit 10 threes, and, they're really athletic and they're big. So we really had to play tough and, came away with the win. And not only did we, but our boys did too. And our boys team is really good. And, they won at Central and then turned around and won at Riverdale. So that is, something to, look at and be happy for.
So, Coach, let's talk a bit about the injuries. Good news, bad news. I mean, bad news, you hate to lose players, but maybe the opportunity for others to step up, and especially since, now if you can get some of these girls back later in the year, you can build on your experience with your bench and build your strength in numbers, correct?
That is true, and we've had, Sarah Marshall's a senior. She was probably going to start for us at post. She tore her ACL. Had Peyton Gardner. She dislocated a kneecap. Alyssa Morgan, MCL sprain. She's having to go back in and have surgery on scar tissue. Then Brindley Bain with a torn ligament. And then Ashton Walker with a knee. Like, when you say injuries, they really piled up. So it has opened the door for others. And Thursday night we played Pickett County, who won the state tournament last year. Just got their best player back for our game. She actually walked in the gym as they were warming up. And, we were on a limited roster as far as experience because some of these girls, they played a few varsity minutes, but they haven't played meaningful minutes. And after the first quarter, we were winning and only down a few points at halftime. And then, we struggled in the third, but kept it respectable. And with about a minute to play, we were down 13, gave up 2 late layups to make it 17. But it was a really good game and a really good test for us. And, Mia Thompson stepped up huge. She had 23 points against that team that's, they're really big. They're really aggressive. So I was proud of them. And then had, Sophie Lamb come in that got a chance to get some playing time and had a big box out rebound that they got a foul on. She knocked down 2 threes. So Sophie has pretty much made the most of her minutes. And we have a very tough stretch coming up. We just played, the defending state champions. We're about to go to them again in a couple of weeks. We have Richland, who's defeated Loretta and Lawrence County this year already. We have Moore County in our district that were the state runner-ups. We're going to Summertown, and and 5 of these games are in a row. We have Richland, Pickett County, Summertown, Moore County, Richland, all in a row, and all 4 of those teams and all 5 of those games are against teams that are ranked in the top 5, and they're very good teams. So we're going to get tested, very good over the next couple of weeks.
Coach, I was just going to say, it looks like you're going to find out a little bit of something about some of these young players. And, once again, it could be good for them to be playing against this kind of competition.
It is. And, when you lose a star player, it really, it's really hard. And, the girls, I don't know how they look at it, but the way I looked at it was, okay, we're going to work even harder. We're going to come in and we're going to get better. We're going to take advantage of this opportunity. And like you said, maybe later down the road, we get one or two of them back and we'll be even better for it. So we threw the pouting out the window and, made it where, hey, we're going to get better. Everybody's got to get better. We all have to step up. And hopefully when she comes back, we'll be better for it.
And I think that's exactly why Chris Lynch is part of the Lady Eagle lore, because you're doing a fantastic job there, Coach, and that's the kind of attitude of a winning program. We appreciate your time. We certainly wish you the best of luck. We hope all those girls get a whole lot better, and y'all have some great holidays. Okay, Coach?
All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at CraigsTaxService.com.
The Blue Raiders fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees, located at 910 Ridgely Road, behind Chewy's, just off Broad Street.
Time to get out in the cold in style with officially licensed Middle Tennessee stocking caps, coats, jackets, sweats, scarves, and more. If it's blue and white with the Middle Tennessee logo, you can bet the best selection in town is at Raider Tees.
Raider Tees by Ideas Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, off Broad between Chewy's and Chili's.
Pizza.
You can now order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. We've made ordering online a breeze. From sirpizzatn.com, tap on the location nearest you and begin your order for carryout or delivery. You can order the Royal Feast, create your own, spaghetti, calzones, everything right from our online portal at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Danny Brewer here. Welcome to the Cougar Corner. We are just extremely pleased right now. We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School girls basketball coach Hannah Jones. Coach Jones, how are you this morning?
Doing great. We finished up a game last night, and then we're going to turn around and travel to Nashville Christian today. So kind of back-to-back days getting ready for.
This is a fantastic time of year, the holiday season. And one of the things the holiday season brings for people like you is lots of games, and you play different people and all that kind of stuff. So exciting for you this time of year for many, many reasons?
Oh, yeah. We got lots of stuff going on. Girls get kind of tired of just practicing each other. That's what we work towards, is being able to play games and preparing for district.
Right. And when we think about some of the things that's happened in the past, this is your third year at Middle Tennessee Christian, am I correct?
Going into my fourth.
Going into your fourth year. Okay, so fourth season as a leader of the Lady Cougars. You've had some pretty good teams, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, Coach.
Yeah, first 2 years we made it to the state championship, and that was really, really fun. Last year we got put out in region, and then now we're just getting started this year. So it's been a fun past 3 years. Excited for year 4.
Now let's talk a little bit about the challenges of coaching at a school like Middle Tennessee Christian. Because smaller environment, which can be good, but also your roster can be a little bit limited, and you got girls, I'm sure, that play multiple sports because in a smaller school that's what happens, right?
You have to. That's just everybody pitches in. They do a lot of different things, and that's just kind of, that's what you do in life, right? You're going to be involved in a lot of different areas of life, even after high school, after college, whatever you do. So I think even though MTCS is small in number-wise on paper, I think that's just a very, like, it's just a glimpse into where they're going to be headed. You're going to be active in a lot of different things. So, yeah, we have a lot of multi-sport athletes for sure.
Now, in kind of older times, I'm an old guy. When I was in school, people played multiple sports. That's what you did. If you were a good athlete, you played everything. Now it's not necessarily so true, especially at the bigger schools. Do you think that's maybe not such a good thing? I mean, do you like it that you have players who play multiple sports?
I love that we have players that play multiple sports, especially for our female student athletes. I think it's healthier for them to play multiple sports. Now, the only area of concern I have, I grew up playing travel soccer, travel basketball, and it was necessary. I wanted to play at the next level, and I was fortunate enough to play in college and play professionally. And I think that those travel teams are necessary. I do wish that, I feel like school teams, they're just as important as, I want to say, as travel. And I think that just these kids do have a lot going on, but they also need to be kids at the same time. So just finding that fine line and that balance of staying healthy, I think playing multiple sports is wonderful. I encourage every single one of my student athletes to do that. But I also think that there should be, a lot of just wisdom and perspective on their health and their bodies, and making sure that they're getting what they need, but they're also having time to enjoy their lives and grow up, which is what this phase of life is. They're just growing up and they're learning for the next, wherever they go next after high school.
I had a debate with somebody just the other day about this, as far as, travel sports versus school sports. And I 100% agree with you that school sports are extremely important, because then you're playing with your classmates and your friends and the kids you grew up with. And I think that's very important.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think from a social maturity, emotional intelligence, I think it's and just like a daily routine of getting into a daily routine and working through things, where I think in travel you get to kind of be placed on teams where there's a lot of skill sets there, because it's very specific to that sport. You're in high school and you don't know, they're not all there for just basketball. Some are there for soccer, some are there for volleyball, some are there for whatever teams that they're choosing to play for sports-wise. They could be in something else too. So it's just different, and I think that's a different learning curve. And it's just as important to be like, hey, this is the team that I'm on, and we're the value that each and every unique player brings, and where they're coming from and how they're choosing to play a part of the sport and to have school spirit, to buy in, I think it's a really, really awesome life lesson that a lot of kids need to be a part of and learn.
You just used a term that I love, life lesson, because at the end of the day, that's what sports is, right? It's teaching us. It's a training ground for life.
Oh, yeah. If I hadn't have played high school, college, professionally, at every level that I played at, and every team that I was a part of was completely different, you learn how to make decisions. You learn just how to be flexible and get out of critical thinking, and how to handle adversity, because you're always going to, it's just, I think Carol Lawson at Duke had a quote that was just life doesn't get easier. You just learn how to handle hard better, something like that. And I think that's so true. And I love that in the long term. If all of I'm just biased because I coach young girls and female student athletes, I think it's just so important that they learn how to handle the hard, and they're going to enjoy and embrace that. And they're just going to be just really amazing women, and I think that sports help set them up to do that, to be great leaders, to be great workers, to be great family members, to be great human beings, and so I think it's very, very important.
Coach, I couldn't agree with you more, and I love that you learn to handle hard better, because that's the game called life.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the Lady Cougars. I'm going to throw a couple of names out there, and you just kind of tell me a little bit about what they've done and your thoughts on them. First, Anna Clay Shirley. I know she's had a couple of good games here recently.
Yeah, she is definitely come along. So I was able to pull her up as an 8th grader my first year. So I've been with her for a while now, and I've loved the progression of her game. I think especially past few games, I have asked her to step up and practice defensively, and trying to figure out, when you go through scouting reports, defensive matchups, and yada, yada, she has really stepped up her defensive game. Everybody knows her as a shooter, obviously. She can shoot. She has range. but y'all don't understand, and I want people to see more of her defensively. She is dynamic, and she is wanting to get it done. So I've been very, very proud of her stepping up into a kind of our go-to defensive role. I was I'm loving watching it.
I know that she can score. Do you think that oftentimes playing good defense helps you offensively?
Yes, that's what I preach to our kids. Defense creates offense. Our defensive rebounds start our transition. I mean, that's the beginning of everything.
Okay, so next girl we want to talk about is Ambria Haynes. Did I say that right?
Ambria Haynes, yeah, we call her Bree. Ambria Haynes, yep. She came to us from Riverdale, and she's been a post for us, a more true back to basket, but she brings a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and enthusiasm and joy that I think this team is just a piece of the puzzle that we absolutely love. And she just brings a different depth to us. So she's been amazing too. She's a junior as well.
When you talk about back to the basket, I think that oftentimes in today's game, post play there's not as much of an emphasis on post play as it used to be. Talk about the importance of teaching those back to the basket moves and the ability to play with your back to the basket.
Yeah, well, I came from when I was playing, I was definitely like a forward kind of a tweener. So I see the value of like a 5-out, being able for like posts and guards to kind of blend. I see that, but you do have also like there is a physicality and just a grittier mindset to be down in the paint, back to basket. You got someone on you. You see one-on-one. You got 2 feet in the paint. You know what? This is your time to use your angles, use your leverage to get up and finish. I just think it's a different way to score. It's a different way to add physicality and to add like an inside outlook. I think it opens up a lot. So the value of being able to anchor in the paint is just as important. It's just different. Well, I mean, I guess it's not different, but I think the trend is being more tweeners and fluid 3/4. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
I think that the post game used to be very traditional, and then it kind of got away. And I think that it's just a lot of people don't learn as much of how to even guard the post too. So I think it's kind of can be a threat as well. So we're really excited to have Bree.
Now I'm an old guy, like I said already, so I'm going to bring back a name. When you mentioned something there, the angles and everything like that of understanding with your back to the basket, Adrian Dantley. There was a guy that played years ago named Adrian Dantley. He was like 6'5", but he was a fantastic post player because he had a little bit thicker body, but he understood how to keep guys on his hip and keep his body between them and the ball. Is that something that you're trying to teach as far as, like you mentioned the angles? How important is that?
Well, it's just going to give you the leverage that you need of where, like, if you're catching in the post, where you catch, how you're catching. You only have so much space to work with down by the rim. So when you've got it, you can catch, chin, check, and then where's the defense? Where can I pivot, move, look in regards to my defender? And I mean, there's just, it's a lot of, it sounds like a lot of moving pieces, and it kind of is, but once you get that muscle memory, then you understand, like, oh, I see this pressure on this shoulder, I can go this way. You know what I'm saying? So I think the angles are important. I don't know if the girls, we're not pulling out like trig or calculus or something out there to document angles, but they do a good job repping in practice, and just trying to get it to translate into that game speed is important.
Yeah, well, the trig and the calculus, that can stay on the shelf for me too. But anyway,
I don't know it.
So let's next girl I want to talk about, Katie Cathy. Tell me a little bit about Katie Cathy. I know she's had a double-figure game here recently too.
Yeah, she is, I would say, kind of a very, very important glue piece for us. She does so many things, and she's so smart. She's vocal. She is leading us in charges, so I think that just tells you, like, she's selfless and she's willing to sacrifice her team, but she's there in the help side. Offensively, I think she reads things very, very well, and I think she makes very, very good reads, and just kind of, she's a newbie as well, so I think that she's been wonderful, and she's just got a great voice out on the court. Like, she is a talker, and I think that she has a high IQ that I'm excited for her to continue to shine.
Basketball IQ, something important, because students of the game is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how you cultivate that, because you got to want them. You got to have a hunger for the knowledge and all that stuff. So when you see somebody like that, how do you cultivate that and try to get them to continue to learn and grow and be a sponge and absorb all this stuff?
Oh, well, I don't know if I do a fantastic job of it or if anyone does. And if anyone does, like, just let me read your book and we'll figure it out together. But I think our girls, like, they're buying into, they want to play. They've chosen to play basketball. So obviously with that, they already have a competitive heart. They have a growth mindset, even if they don't know what that is. I think so that just right there is a great boundary or a great baseline to jump off of, and getting them to, like, obviously repping it in practice, but getting them to know the whys. We watch a lot of film. We have team notebooks that we're writing notes down in film, and just understanding what are we looking for here? How do you read a defense? Breaking it down, doing it on the court, talking about it. I mean, there's a lot, I think, of just getting multiple touches on it so it's always in front of them, and just repping it as well. But I think that they do a good job themselves of just showing up and putting in the work and paying attention. They have executed our scouts very, very well, and I've been very proud of that. I don't think a lot. I don't know if a lot of high school teams have kids who are as bought into, okay, this girl does this first move and we want to take away this, and this is how we are going to score and why we do it. So I think our girls are they're just good listeners, and I think that they're paying attention because they want to, and that's very, very precious to me, and so I'm very thankful for that.
Understanding the importance of practice and hard work and all that stuff, you feel like your team's got a good grasp on that?
I do. I think that at the end of the day, they are high school kids, they're teenagers, and they're learning through it. And there's always going to be something like challenges that they're going to be going through. And we have to love them, number one. But I do think that they handle it very, very well. And I think that they're going to be, they're just great kids. I'm so proud of them.
So, Coach, you mentioned that you played last night. You got a game tonight. After today, talk about what you got coming up in the short term between now and the holidays as far as schedule-wise and stuff.
Well, the girls have exams next week, so that will be a mental test for them, and they're going to study. We're going to practice in between, and we don't have a game until next Friday, Saturday. So once they get through exams, we are going to play Nolensville, which will be very tough, and then I think Saturday is Franklin Christian Academy, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be, I have to go back and look. It could be just the boys next weekend. But I think we're Nolensville and then maybe Franklin Christian Academy, who is, I think, supposed to join our district in the future.
So after that, I mean, do you guys take some time off for the holidays, or are you involved in Christmas tournaments? What do you got going up as far as that is concerned?
We will be off from, obviously, after I think the 22nd through like the 25th, and then potential practice the 26th, and then we play at Richland High School for their kind of Christmas time games they've got going on. I think we're set up to play Cornersville and Santa Fe. So I think it'll be a good time to get some extra games in, and then we'll lead into kind of January where we'll come back right into district.
So exciting times for Middle Tennessee Christian School, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun.
So let's talk. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about cooking. You and I usually always talk about cooking. What's on the holiday menu? People want to know what Hannah Jones has got cooking on her holiday menu.
Oh, gosh. Are we doing, like, literal again or, like, teen
Well, yeah,
stuff?
this time we're doing literal, like, so cause you got the prime rib you got going on, or are we frying a turkey, or kind of what we got going on there, Hannah Jones?
Well, if you have any recommendations, we have our in-laws coming in, so we're kind of hosting with my in-laws, and then my family is up in Pennsylvania, actually, and my sister just had her first baby, so that's my first nephew. I won't be able to get to travel up there to see him, but we'll probably cook at the house. Probably we always do like a Christmas Day like brunch type thing, so a lot of casseroles that are fun, cinnamon rolls, that kind of thing, and then hopefully find somewhere like a nice dinner out or something like that. We're not really sure yet. We haven't planned it well enough yet.
All right.
If you've got any recs, let me know.
Okay, so yes, all right. So here you go for your brunch. You could do like chicken and waffles. How about that? A little chicken and waffles. And if you like a little spice, you throw your little Frank's hot sauce on the chicken when it comes out of the grease. So if for those who want it spicy,
Have you had hot honey?
Yeah, you could do some hot honey, absolutely.
I like hot honey.
And so you do put a little hot honey on those fried chicken tenders when you put them on the. Now, me personally, I like the boneless chicken on the chicken and waffles. Some people like the bone-in chicken. I prefer the boneless chicken on the chicken and waffles. And then how about this? How about some everything pigs in a blanket. You know, like the everything bagel. You
Yeah.
like the everything bagel?
Oh, yeah.
So you can get the everything seasoning, and you just take your croissants and you cut them up, and you wrap your little smokies in there, and put some everything seasoning on them, bake them in the oven. Bam!
Okay.
Everything pigs in a blanket. How about that?
Hot tips. This radio show is now going to turn into your recipe cookbook.
Coach, listen, we certainly appreciate your time. That's Hannah Jones. She's got the Lady Cougars roaring over there at Middle Tennessee Christian School. We appreciate your time, Coach. We wish you happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
All right, take care, Coach.
Yep. Bye.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org. Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA, live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Welcome back to MTCS Cougar Corner. Let's take a look at the Cougar Corner scoreboard here on the show, powered by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Let's go to Monday. We'll go back that far. And here are the scores that we have for you. In middle school JV girls, 26, Mount Juliet Christian Academy 19, and the middle school boys were 50-12 winners over MJCA. And let's see, the middle school varsity girls, 43-7 victors, and the boys defeat Mount Juliet Christian varsity middle school boys 64-20. 5th and 6th grade girls on Tuesday fall to Nashville Christian School 23-15. The JV boys were winners 49-46 over Webb, a close one on Tuesday. It was the 5th and 6th grade JV boys 24, Nashville Christian School 22, Webb 51, and the MTCS girls varsity 39 on Tuesday. 5th and 6th grade boys 22-16 over Nashville Christian School on Tuesday as well. It was Bell Buckle Webb School defeating MTCS boys in high school varsity 80-59. And that takes us to Thursday, where the middle school JV boys defeated Mount Juliet Christian Academy 35-14. And it was the middle school varsity girls, a 36-3 winner over Mount Juliet Christian. The boys middle school varsity 59-19 over Mount Juliet Christian Academy. varsity girls last night defeating University School of Nashville 68-25, but it was University School of Nashville boys winning 75-63. So that is a look at the scoreboard from this past week. Today you've got swimming at Stewart's Creek. Middle school is at the Innsworth Invitational, and also going on this afternoon, MTCS
JV and varsity girls and boys are playing Nashville Christian. The elementary cheer is at the top of the rock, also middle school. Told you about the middle school swimming. That is on Tuesday. Middle school swimming will be at Oakland Middle. And also varsity girls are playing in the FRA Battle on the Hill on next Friday. Kind of a weird week this next week, especially with high school and exams. The varsity boys will traveling to Marshall County. And then next Saturday, girls versus FCA and varsity boys playing as well next Saturday afternoon at 2 and 3:30. So that's a little look ahead. That actually takes us up to Christmas, and then after Christmas, we'll talk about that a little bit more next week, about what is coming up for the girls and boys basketball teams. That is a recap of your scoreboard and schedule here on Cougar Corner, powered by TOA. And that's going to wrap up our coverage today. Would like to mention we've got Lady Raider basketball coming up this afternoon. The Lady Raiders are taking on Kansas State at the Bill Schneider Women's Basketball Classic. It'll be a 4:30 airtime here on WGNS with Joe Fisher behind the microphone. And next men's game will be on Monday versus Cal Baptist. That's a home game for the men, and the women on Tuesday are at Cal Baptist. Next week, with the Raiders or Lady Raiders playing on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, that only leaves Wednesday and Friday. And no games on Wednesday, few choices on Friday the 20th. So no high school basketball for you next week. In fact, the only high school thing we have before the end of the year is next Saturday morning's Coaches Show. Boys Week next week, as we talk about the holiday period, what's coming up on winter break. Before Christmas, after Christmas, kind of recap the first part of the year, and that will wrap up our 2024 coverage. We'll take a couple of weeks off there during the winter break and be back for the first show back on the air January 11th. So it's the Saturday after Christmas and the Saturday after New Year's that we will be off. But calendar was really weird this year. Everything pushed a little later. But anyway, and then we're gearing up for big Tuesday, Friday matchups right on through. And high school basketball, our first game will be on January 7th. Okay, friends, that is going to do it here for Cougar Corner and the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. Our thanks to Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro for the breakfast and the coffee and biscuits and everything we had this morning for all of the coaches. Want to thank our friends at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air and, of course, Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance for bringing you the two coaches shows and all of the sponsors that you hear. It's very important. If you can support them, please do, because it's those sponsors that have allowed us since 1993 to continue the coaches' conversation each Saturday morning. My thanks to Danny Brewer and John Dinkins and our producer, Dalton Barrett. Many thanks to that crew. And we will be back next Saturday morning for another edition of the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner and MTCS Cougar Corner. Have a great Saturday.